The death toll from the overnight Israeli strikes on Rafah has risen to 45 as per Gaza officials. The Israeli onslaught remains unabated, even as the International Court of Justice ordered the Rafah offensive to be halted. The latest round of airstrikes also comes hours after Hamas launched rockets towards Israel, impeding fresh ceasefire efforts. The Israeli strikes set ablaze tents of displaced Palestinians in Rafah. The strike took place in Tel al-Sultan neighborhood in western Rafah, where thousands of people were taking shelter after Israeli forces began a ground offensive in eastern Rafah 2 weeks ago. Chaotic scenes unfolded as paramedics in ambulances raced to the attack site and evacuated the wounded, including children. Palestinians looked through the rubble in search of their loved ones.
We were sitting at the door of the house safely. Suddenly we heard the sound of a missile. We ran and found the street covered in smoke. We did not see anything. We went into the house and did not find anyone when we checked over the wall and found a girl and a young man who had been cut into pieces.
The Israeli military said its air force struck a Hamas compound in Rafah and that the strikes were carried out with, quote, precision ammunition and on the basis of precise intelligence. It said it took out Hamas's chief of staff for the West Bank and another senior official who was behind deadly attacks on Israelis. The strikes have drawn condemnation from across the Arab world. Qatar has said Israel's latest strikes could hinder talks towards a truce and hostage release deal. Qatar, alongside the United States and Egypt, has been engaged in months of talks aimed at securing a truce deal between Israel and Hamas. But behind the scenes, negotiations reached a stalemate earlier this month as Israel sent ground forces into Rafah. Officials say the talks are set to resume next week as the war rages on. Israeli strikes came hours after Hamas had on Sunday, for the first time in months, launched a barrage of rockets at Tel Aviv and other areas in central Israel. The attack sent people running into bomb shelters. Israeli army said at least 8 rockets were fired, and Israeli air defenses took out most of the rockets, and no casualties were reported. However, the attack was seen as an effort by Hamas to signal that it remains undefeated. All right, for more on this, our correspondent Jody Cohen sent us this report from Israel. Let's take a listen.
I'm in Sderot on the border with Gaza, where booms have been heard today overhead. The EU's foreign policy chief Joseph Borrell accused Israel of ignoring the World Court ruling on a Rafah offensive. Israel's top military prosecutor has said the very grave incident is under review and that the IDF regrets any harm to non-combatants during war. However, Israel has also said the strike was against legitimate targets under international law and came hours after Hamas fired a rocket barrage from Rafah at central Israel. War Cabinet Minister Benny Gantz said the barrage proves the need for Israel's operation in Rafah. Meanwhile, Qatar has warned the hostage talks could be hindered, although Hamas had previously denied reports that talks for a hostage truce deal would resume on Tuesday. This is Jody Cohen for WION World is One.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.